Yesterday was the most devastating day on the campaign trail for Donald Trump in the entirety of this race. Not only did he have not one, but two half-empty rallies in which people left early. Not only did he get a poll out of Iowa with VP Harris up 3 points, yes, 3 points, but then she followed it up with a masterclass. Trump is losing in this race and calling out his cognitive decline in a way that is clearly driving Donald Trump crazy, because after VP Harris' incredible performance on SNL, Donald Trump took those tiny little fingers to Truth Social to let us all know how panicked and devastated he is, and we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and we are so close to 50,000 subscribers, just need your support now. Like I said, Donald Trump absolutely losing his mind after VP Harris' performance on SNL. So before we get into Trump, let's see that voice. President VP Harris. I was watching live. I absolutely loved it. So did the crowd. So much energy, so much excitement behind VP Harris. And I really love that she picked that moment from Donald Trump a couple of days ago when he was trying to pull off a big stunt that backfired completely, driving around in a garbage truck with his name on it. Not necessarily the imagery that you want Donald Trump, but we saw that moment of him trying to open the door, slipping, looking ridiculous. But it wasn't just us on this show who played it again and again and again because it looked so bad. Sean Hannity accidentally aired that clip on Fox. So before we get into Trump's meltdown, I think it's only right to check out that clip.
Treasure. And today in Wisconsin, take a look at that. This may go down as an iconic, epic moment that we will remember for a long time. Donald Trump.
So funny to me that Sean Hannity decided that that's the clip he wanted to play while talking about the iconic Trump stunt of what driving around in a garbage truck, because his campaign is garbage, because he's garbage, because let's be honest, his supporters are garbage. Yeah, it wasn't a good look. And again, Donald Trump doing everything he can in the closing days of this race, but it's not going well. It's the reason why he's panicking, and it's the reason why minutes after VP Harris was on SNL, he posted this on Truth Social. Trump wrote on Truth Social, "As we rescue our economy, I will also restore our borders. Over the past 4 years, comma, has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted on our people. She has violated her oath, eradicated our sovereign border, and unleashed an army of gangs and criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums, and mental institutions around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo, stealing countless American lives." Now, while that post was from Donald Trump, Truth Social account, I don't think that he actually wrote it. Those words are a little too big for Donald Trump, but he certainly made the next post that we're going to check out. But what that really shows to me is that Donald Trump's whole team, including him, are in a state of utter panic. Right now, they're trying to respond to that incredible moment from Harris with some messaging in an attempt to shift the narrative. I don't know, it's never worked for Trump. They can't shift the narrative. It's actually going in the opposite direction that they wanted to. Of course, that's why we saw that poll out of Iowa from VP Harris, but the post that I think Donald Trump did actually make was a little bit of polling of his own. Let's take a look at that. So Trump shared this post with a collection of swing state polls from a historically conservatively biased pollster in an attempt to cover up the news of VP Harris' big lead in Iowa. Now, this is the first time we have seen Donald Trump take to Truth Social to post a bunch of polls when Harris is skyrocketing. And that is exactly what's happening right now. And it just goes to show how panicked Donald Trump and the entirety of his team are. They're just losing their minds. They are so concerned. They didn't think North Carolina was going to be a swing state to start this race, much less Iowa. And so they are losing it, much like Donald Trump is physically and mentally losing it, which Tim Walz called him out for right here.
And by doing this now, we have 20 states, including Arizona, that have Trump abortion bans in place. And now this week, he tells us he's going to put RFK Jr. in charge of women's health. Yeah, but he even made it a little clearer for you. Donald himself said, don't worry, he'll be your protector. Can't even open the door of a garbage truck, and let alone so. Well, look, he followed up in the last day or so and said he's going to do that whether women like it or not. So some of this stuff might be comedy fodder if this guy would go back to just being a buffoon on TV, but he's not. He's asking to be president of the United States again. And so because of that, now what we're seeing, what he means is, women are turned away from emergency rooms and miscarriaging in parking lots, whether they like it or not. Survivors of rape and incest are being forced to carry those pregnancies to term, whether they like it or not. Fertility clinics have turned couples away at the door, whether they like it or not. And for so many of you out here, and for the women here certainly, it's personal. On the fertility side, Gwen and I have talked about our struggle with this. We struggled for years with infertility. Because we had insurance and fertility treatments, we had our beautiful family. I will be damned if anyone will take that from anybody in this country. You're right.
I absolutely love that Governor Walz has been going on the offensive to end this campaign. It is always Donald Trump who is angry and lashing out. We can't just let him get away with that. He is a bully. He is insecure. And sometimes you gotta hit back a little bit with your messaging against that bully, especially with sensitive issues for Donald Trump, like his crowd size, which VP Harris and her team were posted about last night.
Economy taken care of, no business, take care of this
I know that's going to get him upset. I know we're going to see another truth. Social posted today. Take those tiny little fingers out. Donald get all upset. And Donald Trump has been talking more and more about his crowd size and his rallies as the crowds get smaller. It's funny. It's like a disproportionate relationship. The smaller the crowds get, it's the inverse. The more Donald Trump talks about how big his crowd size is, it's so funny. And the same thing goes with polling. Donald Trump also yesterday saying that he was going to win New Jersey, maybe Virginia, and New Mexico. This is what he does. VP Harris gets in his head. Really like no one else. I think it's VP Harris, Michelle, and Barack Obama. Certainly. They are always living rentree up there. So much so that Donald Trump recently said this about VP Harris in reference to the comments she's made about his crowd size.
When that sleazebag said during the debate, she said, oh, your rallies aren't well attended and people leave. They don't leave, and they're really well attended. We can't get places big enough.
That is, Donald Trump closing message is to call VP Harris a SLE bag, the sitting vice president. Okay? Yeah. So conservatives got mad that President Biden said that a disgusting joke told about PTO Rico when he called it garbage, that was too far. But Donald Trump can call the sitting vice president in a SLE bag. I guess that's just the MAGA logic, but certainly not a good closing argument. But a good closing argument sounds a lot like this from VP Harris.
Let's be intentional about building community, and let's be intentional about building coalitions, remembering that the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And there is power in that. There is power in that approach, and it will strengthen our country. And so I'll leave you with this. Let's remember, and please remind everyone, your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. And don't let anyone ever take your power from you. Right? So, North Carolina. Carolina, today I ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
That is a message we can get behind. That is a message we can be excited about. And that is the message that is going to carry VP Harris, AC Ross the finish line, and potentially across the finish line in Iowa as well. I don't know. We're all going to be looking out. I'm going to be excited to see election night. Couldn't come fast enough. And we're going to be talking about all things election day up until then on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.